That's only on the Football Zone and to a midweek previewing this week's Championship action and starting off with the Troy Deeney derby between Birmingham and Watford. And yeah, it's an intriguing game because Birmingham hadn't got off to a bad start to the season but did lose to Cardiff last night and were really poor, but Watford have got on to a great start to the season considering some of the sides they face. I think they'll be really pleased with their start. And yeah, you just look at the two sides and think Watford would have a bit more quality here. Birmingham will need to improve to get anything out of this, but I think Watford will have too much. 2-0 for me. Moving on then to Bristol City versus Luton, and this is another intriguing one because Bristol City with 1 point, Luton with 2 points. Luton, I don't think they've been too bad, but they just haven't really got going so far, and they need to start doing so soon before teams they want to be chasing to get in the first places start to get away, if you know what I mean. But Bristol City getting their first point last month could be big for them, and it's an interesting one on paper. This one, it's hard to say which one it goes, but I just fancy Luton this one, just ever so slightly. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to Burnley as they take on Hull at Turf Moor, and yeah, Burnley, I mean, like losing to Watford last time out, except for that they got 4 points from their previous two games, so not doing too badly at all. But Hull in the top two with 7 points from 9, so they'll be very pleased with their start indeed. So yeah, a team that you'd expect to be up there versus a team that's really doing quite well so far this season. So you know, it's a hard one to predict this one, especially with Burnley at home, but I fancy Burnley here to really kickstart their season. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to Norwich as they take on Huddersfield at Carrow Road, and yeah, this is a really big game because for both sides really, because Huddersfield got their first points of the season last time out, and we're looking to build onto that after a bit of a poor start. But Norwich, you know, bottom of the league now, doing really poorly. No one saw the start this bad coming. Only 1 point so far. They need to get the season back on track desperately, otherwise they could start to slip away even from the playoffs at this early stage of the season. And yeah, just looking in the paper, I fancy Norwich here 2-1. Moving on then to Preston as they take on Rotherham at Deepdale, and yeah, it's an interesting one again because both sides have had a really decent start to the season. Preston, they got 5 points from their first three, and Rotherham 4 points from the first two. So both starts the season have been really solid. I think both teams definitely would have taken that one. So yeah, it's an interesting one to see which way this goes. But Preston at home with more quality, I do think it will be a Preston win. But by no means will this be a walkover for them. Moving on then to Swansea as they take on Millwall at the Liberty, and yeah, Swansea beating Blackpool 1-0 will be a huge relief for them after I think what they'll consider a pretty poor start to the season before that. And Millwall coming out from 2-0 down to beat Coventry 3-2 last night will be a massive momentum booster for them. They're sitting pretty in fourth place with 6 points from 3 games, 2 wins and a loss, and so yeah, they'll be pleased with their start and they'll look to keep it going. But Swansea at home will be tough opposition, so I'm going to say a draw here, 1-1. Moving on then to QPR as they take on Blackpool at Loftus Road, and QPR, yeah, that incredible comeback against Sunderland I think will give them some confidence as well, defeating Middlesbrough last time out before that as well. Really solid results. They're on a decent run at the moment, but Blackpool got that opening day win against Reading. Except for that, it's been 3 losses, so they need to rediscover some form as well, and pretty sharpish as well. So yeah, it will be an interesting one at this one, but QPR at the home, yeah, you've got to fancy them here. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to Stoke as they take on Middlesbrough at Bet365 Stadium, and moving on to Wednesday's fixture now. And yes, Stoke, I mean, like, they'll come into this one off the back of, let's face it, not a great start to the season really. 3 losses and 1 win. And yeah, they'll need a win here, but coming up against the Middlesbrough side, who, like West Brom, haven't really started off the season the best really, only 2 points from it. They'll need some points on the board as well. They probably got the slightly best squad. Stoke with home advantage, it just screams draw, 1-1. Moving on then to Reading as they take on Blackburn at the Medeski, and yeah, Reading definitely need to get back on track after 2 really poor losses in all comps really, especially to Rotherham 4-0. That's a shocking defeat, but Blackburn, a team that's won all their games so far this season, absolutely flying at the moment. It won't be easy at all. Blackburn flying, Reading seem to be struggling a bit. I think there's only one winner here, isn't there, really? 2-0 to Rovers, this one. Moving on then to Sheffield United as they battle Sunderland at Bramall Lane, and yeah, Sheffield United coming to this one off the back of a decent draw against Middlesbrough, not a bad game against them, but yeah, Sunderland, you really do worry how will they react to that terrible collapse last time out, which certainly did cost them 2 points against QPR. So yeah, I mean, it will be an intriguing one, but I think, yeah, that will harm them. I'm going to say Sheffield United for the win here. But moving on then to West Brom as they take on Cardiff at the Hawthorns. And yeah, West Brom, I mean, like, they'll want to recover from that loss to Blackburn, which I think they will be disappointed about. Except for that, it hasn't been a bad start to the season for them. Had a tough few games to kick off the season, that's for sure. Against the Cardiff side, got a win over Birmingham last time out, beat Norwich but lost to Reading, so they've been inconsistent. They want to find some consistency here, but I think West Brom will probably be the slightly better team here. I'm going to say 2-0 to them. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Until like, share, subscribe, any thoughts, comments down below. If you want to consider daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!